Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to the last video in the Cozy Scents series. Today I am talking about my gourmand fragrances. I have 10 gourmand fragrances and I was able to narrow it down to 10 this time, and it was actually hard to come up with 10 because as I have been decluttering my fragrance collection, I'm down to about 80 something fragrances at this point, and I don't really have too many gourmands. So I have some that I would say are kind of borderline because they're kind of mouth-wateringly delicious, but they don't necessarily smell edible. So yeah, I have 10 fragrances here, and I think that coming up with 10 is somewhat kind of significant for me because it really indicates that I am no longer really loving gourmands as much as I used to. I think I love them when I smell them, but I don't always want to smell necessarily like edible. So, so these are the 10 fragrances that I've come up with that I believe are the most sort of gourmand fragrances in my remaining 80 something fragrances in my collection. So the first fragrance on my list is one that I've featured in quite a few lists in this series, and this is from Commodity. This is Milk. And Milk is a really beautiful kind of toasted marshmallow fragrance that smells like woody and marshmallowy, sweet, really cozy, really warm, really comforting. All the things I love to smell in the fall going into the winter. That is exactly what this is. The next fragrance on my list has also been featured several times in this series. This is from Bond Number 9, and this is Tribeca. And Tribeca is a really beautiful, woody, nutty gourmand. There is a hazelnut note that is like very distinct to me, and some caramel. I think the woodiness in this fragrance kind of counteracts the sweetness a little bit, and it's just really warm, really cozy, really beautiful, all the things. The next several fragrances on the list are all vanilla fragrances that were, I think, included in my first video on my Cozy Scent series, which was my vanillas. So the first one is Orchidée Vanille. And this is from Van Cleef & Arpels. This is a really beautiful vanilla fragrance that is a little bit powdery, a little bit chocolatey. There is some cacao in this, and it's just really sweet and delicious. And this is one of the most sort of gourmand vanillas that I have remaining in my collection, and I absolutely love it. My next gourmand vanilla is from Kayali. This is Kayali Vanilla 28. And this is one of only 2 fragrances remaining in my collection from Kayali because a lot of my fragrances I decluttered, as I mentioned, were gourmands, and a lot of my Kayali fragrances were very, very sweet. So this one is a warm, sweet kind of brown sugar vanilla that is also gourmand, but this one is a little bit lighter, I would say, and just really, really pretty, one that I love wearing on its own or combined with other fragrances in my collection, and I love it. The next fragrance on this list is another vanilla that is a deep, dark, rich vanilla. This is Babycat from YSL. And this is a really beautiful kind of smoky, woody vanilla that is really, really delicious, but at the same time, very kind of dark, mysterious, and sexy. And I absolutely love this fragrance for going out in the evenings or just anytime I want to feel cozy. My next gourmand fragrance on this list is from Maison Francis Kurkdjian, and this is Gentle Fluidity Gold. And this is a fragrance that I have been wearing quite a bit these last few days. I always pull this out as soon as the weather gets a little cooler because it is one of the warmest fragrances in my collection. This is all about like fall spices combined with vanilla, and it is so, so beautiful. Such a brilliant scent from MFK. And I think this is my last true vanilla fragrance on my list. This is from Replica, and this is By the Fireplace. And I talked about this in my vanilla fragrance list. This is a really warm, really cozy, like you are sitting by the fireplace and wearing a beautiful vanilla scented fragrance. It's very deep, very cozy, and definitely almost edible. The next fragrance on my list features a deep, dark cherry note, and this is from Tom Ford. This is Lost Cherry. And this is the only real cherry fragrance in my collection. I'm not someone who usually goes for cherries, but the way this fragrance is done, it is a really deep, dark cherry. It's not overly fruity, but it's almost like you are having like a mulled wine, but it's made out of cherries. That's what this smells like to me. It's like a spiced cherry, delicious, deep drink that has some type of alcohol in it, because there's something in this that smells a little bit boozy to me, and very smoky and very woody and just absolutely stunning for holiday season. I love Lost Cherry. My next Cozy Gourmand fragrance is from Glossier, and this is Glossier You Rev. And You Rev is a really beautiful kind of cozy, powdery, musky fragrance that is topped off with this buttercream note that I detect like right away. It gives it this sweetness and it makes it smell like nothing else in my fragrance collection. It's sort of got this bittersweetness that I just absolutely love about it, and I absolutely cannot get enough of this scent right now. And the last fragrance on this list is one that I thought about decluttering because it is quite sweet. It's probably the most gourmand out of any fragrance remaining in my collection. This is from Parfums de Marly, and this is Oriana. And Oriana is a beautiful kind of orange blossom fragrance that features a little bit of raspberry, a little bit of vanilla, and a whole lot of this whipped cream note that I definitely detect in it the most out of everything. It's very, very sweet. It smells almost like candy to me, or like first time I smelled it, I remember thinking it smelled like bubble gum, and I still sort of can see that. There are times when it can be too much, and I find myself not reaching for it a lot. So this is one that I've considered several times decluttering, but I keep holding on to it because I don't have too many orange blossom fragrances left in my collection because a lot of them have been too sweet. So keeping this one for the time being, but we'll see how I do with it in the weeks and months ahead. So those are my top 10 cozy gourmand fragrances that are remaining in my collection. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll do my best to find links to everything and leave it down below. And otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon in my next video. Have a great day.